Hello, and welcome to Kendall's question corner. You will guys have questions, and I have answers for you. So let's jump right in. Our first question comes to us from John Burns. John asks, "You sure you want this?" No. Our next question comes to us from Tom Elston, Uncle Tom. Uncle Tom says, "How do you win at Texas Hold'em poker?" Well, it's interesting that you should ask, Uncle Tom. I'm actually from Texas, which gives me a slight unfair advantage when it comes to playing from playing Texas Hold'em with people from any other state. So here are my 3 tips to winning at Texas Hold'em poker. Tip number 1: go all in before the flop every hand. Some people will say that this is a cheap strategy, but those people are the first ones out of the game. So decide for yourself. This will knock your opponents out. Nobody wants to go all in on the first hand. Unless you got a pair of aces, which is what everyone is going to think you have when you go all in before the flop every time. Number 2, second tip of Kendall's How to Win at Texas Hold'em poker tips: do not pursue close-ended low side straights ever. If you're waiting for a card on the turn, get out of there. You're about to lose. Number 3, your poker face is an absolute essential part of your game. Okay? You gotta practice at home. 1 second, I'm just having fun with the guys. I'm laughing along with you. The next second, this is how you know you're in trouble. Okay, next question comes from Andrew Kais. Did you ever fulfill your life ambition of becoming a Starbucks barista? I'm not gonna lie to you, Andrew. No, I didn't. But I did grow up, and I've set my sights much higher. Actually, my new life ambition is to become the assistant regional manager at Dunder Mifflin Paper Company. Connor Pierce asks, on our last chem lab, you decided to dump the completely concentrated beaker into our diluted beaker when we were trying to dilute the concentration as much as possible. Why did you do this? Connor, I'm not going to lie to you. I just wanted to spend more time with you. So, just to give you guys a little background, Connor and I were lab partners in chemistry, Chem 107, and we were doing an experiment where we had to have a concentration and dilution of this sample of silver nanoparticles, and I had not read the lab procedure and dumped the entire diluted beaker into the concentration beaker, or vice versa, and we had to restart. Connor, I'm sorry. I'm forever in your debt. I apologize. Samantha Finglass asks, why did you make my mom your computer background? David Young asks why. No question mark, so interesting. It's funny because people have been asking this for thousands of years, like this whole concept of why. Caitlin Lobis asks, hey. It's not a question, Caitlin, so you know that.
Where are you? And I'm so sorry. I cannot sleep, I cannot dream tonight. I need somebody, and always this sick, strange darkness comes creeping on, so haunting every time.
Natalie Fulch asks, do you remember how to cast points on the knitting needle? Short answer, long answer. Short answer, no. Long answer, no. Christina Sukales states the Catalina wine mixer. Yes. Sean Patlin asks, how do you tie your shoe with only one loop. Alright, step 1. Acquire a shoe. Does not matter from where or whom. Untie it if it's not already untied, as you see me doing here. Rather handily. You're going to take your shoelaces. This is really hard to do. This is really hard to do this way. So you take your shoelaces and you cross them, right? And then
you make a loop-de-loop and pull, and your shoes are looking cool.
bam. I don't know if you bam. It's not a perfect science, but Jim Elston asks, what is the best and worst Studio Ghibli movie? This is not an easy question, Jim. Golly. So I am only really familiar with the Hayao Miyazaki films and The Secret World of Area 80, but it's so hard to make definitive rankings. The only one of the Hayao Miyazaki films that I haven't really watched all the way through is Grave of the Fireflies. Can really get into that one. I'm sure it's fantastic, but I don't know. In terms of movies that I've seen from Studio Ghibli, I would say that's, and I'm not saying it's bad, but that's the one that I have enjoyed the least when I've attempted to watch it. But I think the best Studio Ghibli movie is, I grew up on Spirited Away, right? And so I have a special place in my heart for Spirited Away and that mystical kind of world of people turning into pigs and dragons and that really creepy guy, the big spirit with the weird mask. But I think what I might put above that is The Wind Rises or Porco Rosso. Planes. Hayao Miyazaki was a big plane. He's a big fan of planes, and so I don't know. I think I'm gonna have to give a tie between Porco Rosso and The Wind Rises, which is a fantastic film about these Italian gentlemen, I believe, or these, I don't know, these European guys who attempt to make a attempt to get into the plane making business. And they're also, it doesn't hurt that they're voiced by John Krasinski, which you may know as Jim from The Office, and Joseph Gordon-Levitt, who is fantastic. So Wind Rises and Porco Rosso, and just a hair under Spirited Away. How's Moving Castle is great. Don't ask me to pick. I'm done. Kendall Patterson asks, pie or cake? Pie. Invariably pie. When I was a kid, my grandfather used to make this, on my mom's side, Grandpa James made this peanut butter fudge pie. It was like eating a Reese's cup the size of your face. It was incredible. That's my go-to. Pie. Pie for sure. Kathleen James Harrison asks, will the USA women's hockey team win the gold? There's a little concept that we talked about in psychology called hindsight bias, aka the knew it all along effect, aka creeping determinism. So what this effect basically says is it's the psychological phenomenon when someone sees something happen and then they think, oh, I knew that was going to happen all along, like hindsight bias. So they did win, but I knew it all along because the USA is the best. How could they not? Bennett Johnson asks, what happens when you report someone on Facebook? Nothing. You have to go and block them if you want any results. Take things into your own hand. Oh my god. Sometimes you just have to take things into your own hands, Bennett. Hava Schultz says, can you discuss your parkour technique from Central Park on our New York trip in high school?
Parkour! Michael, parkour! Parkour! Extreme! Parkour! Parkour!
Everything I learned from The Office. Not just in parkour, in everything. Denise Elston says, what inspires you most? This is a really probably the most serious question I got on here. I don't know. My mom and dad worked really hard to get where they were, or where they are, and they made really good decisions so that I could have a life. I could have a more privileged life than they had when they were growing up, and I don't know. I think that that's really admirable. And so, mom and dad, I would say that you guys inspire me most, and I just have a million things to be grateful for, and to thank you for. So, love you. Thank you. This might sound cheesy, but it's you guys. Micah Rimmer says, please explain the enigmatic inner machinations of Patrick Starr's mind. Benjamin Hergert goes, what is the secret to making the perfect calzone? The secret, Ben, is a large amount of disposable income and nothing to do. That's the secret. Gabriella Barbarino asks, why?
Don't waste your time on me, you're already the voice inside my head. Don't waste your time on
Alex Suarez asks, did you sit in some gum that one day? Joshua Dunnigan asks, does it really matter whether a swallow is African or European when determining its unladen airspeed velocity? You know what, Josh? I actually don't know that.
Who didn't know so much about swallows?
And finally, Bradley Aarons asks, if you are bald, what color do the people put on your driver's license? Interesting question. So, if you are bald with no chance of your hair growing back at all, they put none. Did you know that? Consider yourself made better for the day. If you have a chance of growing your hair back, it is the last color that you saw your hair. So, interesting. Thank you guys for submitting questions to me. I hope that you enjoyed watching the video, and I really enjoyed making it and editing it for 1 million hours. So, I don't know, maybe I'll do some more things like this in the future, or maybe I'll do other things. The possibilities are endless. The only limits are your imagination. Go out there and you do your best, and you win it all. Okay? Okay. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys next undetermined amount of time. Bye.